Have you ever held an iPhone and wondered how this single device, a sleek slab of glass and metal, comes to be? It's designed in California, but its heart beats to the rhythm of a global manufacturing giant. A company whose name is synonymous with Apple itself, Foxconn. This isn't just a simple business partnership. It's the story of a complex, decades-long alliance that redefined how the world's most iconic products are made. Why did Apple, a company obsessed with control and perfection, entrust its crown jewel to a factory thousands of miles away? The answer reveals a hidden world of immense scale, unparalleled speed, and a strategic dance between two global titans. At the core of this alliance is a force of nature in the manufacturing world, Foxconn's sheer, unadulterated power. When Apple needs to build hundreds of millions of iPhones a year, it can't just turn to any factory. It requires a partner with an almost unimaginable capacity for production. Foxconn is that partner. Picture a city, not of residents, but of workers, assembly lines and dormitories, all dedicated to a single purpose. Its factories are sprawling metropolises of industry, some employing hundreds of thousands of people under one roof. This colossal scale isn't just for show. It's a fundamental requirement to meet Apple's insatiable global demand. It allows for economies of scale that crush costs, turning the expensive, high-end components of an iPhone into a finished product at a price point that keeps Apple's profit margins legendary. Foxconn is not merely an assembler. It is the undisputed king of electronics manufacturing, the only entity with the brute force necessary to quench Apple's thirst for volume while maintaining razor-thin efficiency. But a factory, no matter how large, is only one piece of the puzzle. The true genius of this partnership lies in its location within China's unparalleled supply chain ecosystem. Manufacturing an iPhone is like conducting a symphony with thousands of instruments. Each component, the screen from one supplier, the chip from another. The camera sensor from a third must arrive at the right place at precisely the right time. China offers a landscape where this symphony can be performed flawlessly. For decades, the country has cultivated a dense, tightly integrated network of part suppliers, logistics experts, and specialized manufacturers. A factory in Shenzhen can get a custom screw from a supplier across town in a matter of hours, not weeks. This proximity and integration create a vortex of efficiency, slashing production timelines and costs in a way that is virtually impossible to replicate anywhere else on the planet. When Apple needed a last-minute design change for the original iPhone screen, this ecosystem enabled a complete retooling of the production line almost overnight. It's this deep, interconnected web of resources that transforms China from just a location into Apple's strategic manufacturing launchpad. Beyond sheer size and location, the partnership thrives on a unique blend of flexibility and speed, orchestrated by Foxconn's remarkable infrastructure. Global demand for a new iPhone is not a steady stream. It's a tidal wave that crashes upon launch and ebbs and flows with seasonal trends. Apple needs a partner that can ride this wave, scaling production from a trickle to a torrent and back again at a moment's notice. Foxconn has mastered this art. Its secret weapon is a massive, well-trained, and highly disciplined labor force that can be mobilized with incredible speed. Need to ramp up production by 100,000 units a day? Foxconn has the systems and personnel to make it happen. This agility allows Apple to respond to market signals with surgical precision, ensuring that stores are stocked for a product launch and that inventory doesn't pile up when demand cools. It's a dynamic capability that goes far beyond simple assembly. It's the logistical dexterity required to manage the world's most scrutinized product launch year after year. This complex operation is made possible by a crystal-clear division of labor. Think of it as a director and a master craftsman. Apple is the visionary director, retaining absolute control over the most critical aspects of its creation. It dictates every curve of the design, every micron of tolerance in the engineering, and every element of the user experience. Apple's teams meticulously source the high-value components, negotiate with suppliers, and map out the global supply chain strategy. They're the architects, the brand custodians, and the quality guardians. With their own engineers stationed on the factory floor to ensure every single device meets their famously exacting standards, Foxconn, in this arrangement, is the master craftsman singularly focused on the monumental task of execution. Its role is to take Apple's blueprint and transform it into a physical reality with breathtaking precision and efficiency. They manage the immense workforce, orchestrate the complex assembly lines, and handle the intricate logistics of putting millions of pieces together. This clear separation of roles allows each company to excel at what it does best, creating a symbiotic relationship where Apple's vision is realized through Foxconn's industrial might. However, the ground beneath this global manufacturing empire has begun to shift. The very concentration that made the Apple-Foxconn-China nexus so powerful has also become its greatest vulnerability. The US-China trade war introduced a new layer of geopolitical risk and tariffs, threatening to disrupt the seamless flow of goods. The COVID-19 pandemic delivered an even greater shock, as lockdowns in China brought parts of the supply chain to a screeching halt, exposing the dangers of having all your eggs in one basket. In response, Apple, the master strategist, has begun a quiet but deliberate pivot. It is hedging its bets, diversifying its manufacturing footprint to manage these new and unpredictable risks. A significant portion of production is now moving to new frontiers in India and Vietnam. These countries are becoming the next hubs in Apple's global manufacturing map, a clear signal that the era of absolute reliance on a single region is coming to an end. This is not an abandonment of China, but a calculated evolution designed to build a more resilient and geographically balanced supply chain for the future. This diversification extends beyond geography and into Apple's choice of partners. For years, the name Foxconn was almost interchangeable with iPhone assembler. They were the exclusive builders of Apple's most important product, but that exclusive reign is over. In its classic strategy of avoiding dependence on any single supplier, Apple has deliberately cultivated a roster of assemblers. Companies like Luxshare and Pegatron, once smaller players, have been elevated to major partners, now assembling significant portions of the iPhone lineup. Luxshare, a homegrown Chinese competitor, has risen with astonishing speed, challenging Foxconn's dominance directly. By spreading its orders across multiple assemblers, Apple not only reduces its dependence on Foxconn, but also fosters a competitive environment. This forces all its partners to continually innovate, improve efficiency, and offer the most competitive terms, ensuring Apple always has the upper hand in negotiations and the most capable team building its products. Yet, despite this global odyssey of manufacturing, the iPhone's identity remains firmly rooted in its origins. Engraved on the back of every device are the words that anchor its narrative: designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. This small line speaks volumes. While the physical assembly happens in sprawling factories in Asia, the soul of the product, the innovation, the software, the brand, and the ecosystem is born in Cupertino. Apple captures the vast majority of the value generated by the iPhone. The design, the research and development, the marketing, and the retail experience are where the real profits lie. The assembly, while a monumental feat of engineering and logistics, represents only a small fraction of the final product's cost. This is why no matter where its components are sourced or where it's pieced together, the iPhone is, and will likely always be, perceived as a fundamentally American product. It's a testament to Apple's mastery of not just technology and supply chains, but of branding and storytelling, a narrative that begins and ends not in a factory, but in the heart of Silicon Valley.